Good morning, students. So, today we are going to throw light on the women empowerment in India and its importance. Students, women empowerment in India is the most actually effective tool for development as these days women across the world are actively working as a leader and surpassing others in all the spheres of life. As the entire world is clasping its breath and praying every single day for an incredible escape from the COVID 19 pandemic. It is the women governors and nations steered by these amazing figures who are taking over the responsibility and marching ahead in the battle alone wherever, whenever required. So, women empowerment in India is dependent up to a great extent on numerous different variables that encompass geographical setting, urban, rural, social status, caste and class, educational status, and age factor. Now, this is the time when people must think about, if they are not thinking about, women empowerment that exists at the state, local, educational status, and national levels, district levels, everywhere we must talk about women empowerment. However, women encounter differentiation in most sectors like education, economic opportunities, health and medical assistance, and political participation, which demonstrates that there are substantial gaps between strategy advancements and real exercise at the community level. So, there is a big real difference in gender gap, where what we can say crafting and execution of a concrete policy framework, dispersing civic awareness and education concerning the empowerment of women can usher to accomplishing the desired missions in eradicating the plight of women in the society of India. The realm of women empowerment in India is limited to granting balanced rights to women only. Still, it is also about assuring that they are ingrained and rightful partners in the workforce or not. So, women empowerment in India is something that the term women empowerment is all about authority or the power embarked on women sharing indistinguishable rights. The term refers to the liberation of women from socio-economic restraints of reliance. Women comprise around 50% of country's population. Yes, of course, students. And a bulk of them stays economically independent and on each other without employment. So, in the age of feminism, when I'm talking about it, a small portion of women in India are freed and can employ their free will and are permitted to carve out their lives the way they want. But there is a considerable division of the women in this nation who require optimistic support. Yes, of course, maybe from their family members, maybe from their government, so they require support. So, in most Indian villages and semi urban cities, women are still denied fundamental education and are never authorized to continue higher education despite amassing the understanding required. They have beautiful understanding, but they are not actually supported in that way that they can go to study further for higher education, and they are kept inside their home to do their further household works or to get married. So, women are known for delivering multiple roles effortlessly per day, and thus they are considered the backbone of every society. Living in male dominant societies, women play a wide range of roles, such as caring mothers, loving daughters, and capable colleagues, of course. The best part is that they fill the bill perfectly in every role. Nonetheless, they have also stood as a neglected bunch of society in different parts of the world. In turn, it has resulted in women surviving the brunt of unevenness, financial trustworthiness, oppression, and distinct social evils. Women have been residing under the shackles of enslavement for centuries now that impedes them from attaining professional as well as personal heights. So, this is the condition of women. What I can say, it was a short introduction from my side that you must understand about women empowerment. So before I'm actually discussing something more about women empowerment, let's discuss something about factors affecting women's empowerment in India. What are those factors which are basically affecting women empowerment? So first of all, let's discuss about gender discrimination. It must be checked. The problem of gender discrimination has affected the pace of women empowerment in India. Gender discrimination in all realms of action must be checked. Women must be furnished with a resource to take an active part in decision making at every level and direction procedures to attain the motive of empowering women. They need to get due admiration, prominence, which they rightfully earn on merit basis in society to accomplish their fate. Then we can take the another factor, that is educational factor. Education is the most vibrant factor we can discuss about it. It is really important for advancement and growth of any gender, either male or female. So this is something that we must think about it. It is the only significant tool for anticipating women empowerment in India and human resource development. It gives light to the possibilities for access to employment and making a livelihood, which in turn revivify economic empowerment to women. In order to join the community of developed countries, people should understand the value and importance of women's education and thereby put combined efforts to make India on a progressive track. Education, of course, makes the difference. So, education makes the individual conscientious, enabling them to comprehend, interpret, criticize, and eventually transform their atmosphere. It results in the accession of abundance of skills and heighten a person's enthusiasm and his or her proficiency to shape life in a better form. So, education is the initial line of defense for women who withstand life impelling circumstances that traditional lifestyle perpetuates. Education also motivates a sense of supervision over personal fortune. In addition to this, it unlocks the door to preferences that are not confined by tradition. With a meaningful education, the women's status strides beyond the restrictions of motherliness. Advancement of education of women and girls allot to the postpone of their marriage timings and the ensuring constrictions in the volume of their families. So it it is all because of education. Priorities should be plopped on enrollment along with retention of the girl child in basic formal schooling and non-formal education via incentive methods like a supply of textbook free of cost, midday meals, school bags, science kits, uniforms, scholarship, residential and hostel facilities, as well as the expulsion of gender discrimination in the curriculum. Education will go an extended way in making women familiar with their legal and personal rights also. It will make them battle for their own privilege, which will direct to protecting their rights mentioned in the constitution. So another factor for women empowerment, why we are talking about so much in this mass media, is bringing the transformation. So the mass media is responsible for playing a significant function to project and propagate associated issues, most specifically about women empowerment in India. The numerous programs pertaining to women's prestige reveal the mass media enable her husband to behave towards her wife with loads of honor and respect, which was actually only a thing of expectation. But now we can see this. Now, husband can remake his attitude and assist her in the domestic domain to reduce stress and anxiety. Mass media performs a crucial role in repairing the attitude and way of conversation of husband and other family members towards women. So this is a big role, big factor that causes us to think about women empowerment. Now, another thing that we can discuss about steps regarding implementation of women development program along with numerous acts, training programs based on actions at the villages or in rural parts of the India, along with vocational programs and the growth oriented entrepreneurship development programs must be organized to make women self reliant after becoming self employed by enhancing their efficiency and capacities in making prompt decisions. Students, it is extremely important to check cases related to female feticides and infanticides by prohibiting the sex determination of child that is yet to take birth via the Regulations and Preventing Act, Misuse Act 1994, as well as PNT Act, Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act. This act is also here. So, other ruling correlating to marriage, succession, divorce, adoption, dowry, and moral safety and protection against sexual harassment needs to be implemented for serving the goal of women empowerment in India. Another factor we can discuss about changes in women's attitude. Women should empower themselves by becoming to be aware of the oppression, indicating initiative, and confiscating chances to bring a shift in their status. Empowerment must come from within the soul. Women need to empower themselves by bringing a major change in their attitude. Women must know that opportunities will not reach their laps. It will not come to them in their own way. They will have to determine ways to create them. They should fight back to rebuild their prominent position in India, communities, and societies. They must flourish hard to carry out their rights and maintain justice and equality in societies. Women must flourish, students, too hard to carry out their rights and maintain justice and equality in society. They need to work vigorously for the entire elimination of poverty, dowry, illiteracy, and productive implementation of all programs and laws related to women. Women's empowerment is valuable for the development and advancement of the family, community, as well as the nation. Hence, it must be a leading concern of the Indian government to bring women into the fore of the development strategy by empowering them via numerous development oriented schemes. Of course, we have number of schemes with us, but how much they are working in execution for, in ground, on ground level, how much they are working, that matters a lot. Now, another factor that is very, very important in organization for awareness programs, state and national level commissions for women, non-governmental organization ICDS programs must undertake e-awareness, the task force for women and children development concerning development of women and child in rural areas. Women's rights, human rights, and campaign about legal rights, education about saving schemes, population education, environmental education, rehabilitation programs with all integrity and solemnity. So, this is all about why we are thinking about such such concept, women empowerment, because these are the factors, students, that are enabling us to think something, to actually do something about women empowerment. Now let's discuss about why do we need women empowerment, why do we need it. So, where we need women empowerment because women are worshipped as goddess in India but not given a true position. When I'm talking about not true position, so I have discussed much of the things in earlier also in my explanation. So women are deprived of decision making file. They cannot make the decisions on their own. Important decisions are still being taken by male members of the family. They are not free to take small decisions even. So, decision making power is not with them in all the aspects of life. So, that's why women empowerment is the need of the hour. Freedom of movement. What they want to do, they are free to do. It is not like with them. Access to education is difficult for them, access to employment, and then exposure to media, domestic violence. These are the things which the women are deprived of, and it makes us think like that it is the need of women empowerment that we are thinking. Now let's discuss some principles of women empowerment, how what they are and how it works. First of all, establishing high level of corporate leadership for gender equality. It is very, very important. Treat all women and men fairly at work. Respect and support human rights and non-discrimination. It is in our the constitution. It has been provided to us that women are being treated equally. Will be no difference on the basis of gender, caste, creed, anything. So it is mentioned in our constitution. So this is the basic principle that must be taken in care when we are talking about women empowerment, students. So ensuring health, safety, well-being of all women and women workers, promoting good education, training and professional development for women, implementing enterprise development, supply chain and marketing practices that empower women, promoting quality equality through communities initiatives and advocacy measures, and publicly report on progress to achieve gender equality. Now let's have a look on the stages of women empowerment, how do they empower themselves. If they are powerless, they have to be like that. So students, powerless, initiation, participation, adoption, and they go to the leadership. So these are the stages of empowering any woman in our country or any other country. There are 6 S for women empowerment. How can women be empowered? So it is 6 S in Hindi as well as in English. I'm going to give it to you. Shiksha, that is education. Swasth, that is health. Swablamban, that is self-reliance. Samajik Nyay, that is justice. Samvedan, that is sensitivity. Samta, equality. So these are the 6 S for women empowerment. If you are dreaming of a women empowerment in our country, then these 6 S are superb to apply in any women's life. Women must get good education. She should have good health. She should be self-reliant. She should get justice, sensitivity, and equality in all spheres of life. The way to achieve women empowerment. How can she achieve the women empowerment? Self-help groups are there. Anganwadis are there from government sides. These are the schemes are there. Government schemes work in a very effective way if it is actually executed in a real way on ground level. Microfinance schemes, self-employment schemes. So these are some ways to achieve women empowerment. Constraints in women empowerment, but there are really some constraints also. There are some restrictions on women empowerment. So, lack of education, what we talked about earlier in explanation, it is extremely on the opposite side. So, lack of education, traditional view limit participation, financial constraints, family responsibilities, low mobility, low ability to bear risk, low social status, conflicts among women's groups. Even women are actually becoming enemy of women. Again, in some perspectives, but the major cause which I think students, that is lack of education. Women themselves are not aware what is their right and how can they be empowered and what is the importance of their being empowered. So these are some important points that become constraints in women empowerment. Now, changes of an women empowered women. When a woman is empowered, what kind of changes we are expecting from her? Suppose if I am empowered, so I am supposed to have these following points in me. So if you see any woman empowered, so woman is supposed to have been improving personal knowledge at all levels. Self defining power is there. Authenticity will be more in doing all the works. Creativity will be there in doing something. It is not like that following anyone else's ideas and doing the work. No, it should be now more creative, original. Physical strength is more. And then equality, mutuality in relationship. It is not now one sided that husband is saying and women and the woman is following. Now it will be more mutual sort of. Economic independence is there. Freedom from oppression. Having political power in society. Yes, of course, women are enjoying political positions also. So something is there, students, that we must take care when I'm talking about women empowerment. So it should be there. It should be like that. That importance of women empowerment is very, very important. So in recent times everyone is pointing on the empowerment of women. It is right to say that women's empowerment has become the necessity of the time. Women should possess liberty, faith and self-worth to opt for their needs and demands. Discrimination based on gender is useless and is having zero worth by looking at the growth of women in the last few decades. Women are paid less and are treated as a cook and slave in families. Still, it is being done. And their real potential fails to get highlighted. Women empowerment in India is required to overcome situations of such types and to provide them with their independent role in Indian society. So, empowering women is a necessary right of all the women. They should have proportional rights to contribute to society, economics, education, and politics. They are approved to gain higher education and receive a similar treatment as men are receiving. It is very, very important because it ensures the holistic development of society. Women empowerment in India is one of the principal terms for society's overall development, students. There is nothing erroneous in participating in development of society. in the world of corporates, women are playing numerous roles in all the areas like medical, engineering, education, and you just name any sphere of life, any aspect of life, they are not working. So, apart from taking part in the sphere of technology, they are energetically participating in security services such as police, navy, military, army. All these before mentioned services are taking the community to another level. This is where women are working now, where women are taking strong stand now. So it is very important to empower women in that way. We cannot assume that they are less in some way and women are more superior in other way. So it is very important to determine their intelligence level also. Over the preceding decades, students, there has been a uniform increase in women empowerment. Women must possess self-worth, confidence, and freedom to choose their needs and requirements. Classifying the people based on gender is unreasonable and it has no worth. Still, women are paid less, expected to cook, and restricted by their family members to overcome these situations and to have an independent role in society. Women empowerment is must, it is needed. So, empowering women is the fundamental right of women. They can have equal rights to participate in education, society, economics, and politics. They are allowed to have higher education and treated in the way like men. So, this is something we've discussed. We're discussing about the importance of women empowerment. We have so making it actually a very how making it you at a halt to stop and think about women empowerment. Why it is so important? Why it is like that? That students, you must think, being paid students, being professional prospective teachers, you must think about it. Why it is very important? Why you should get training of it? So it is very important. Another thing, able to solve unemployment. Yes, of course, unemployment is one of the common problems that can be seen in developing societies like India. The research says that half of the population consists of women. The unemployment of women and unequal opportunities in the workplace can be eradicated with the help of women empowerment in India only. Whenever women are facing unemployment, their true potential is left without any use. To make use of the strength and potential of the women, they must be provided with equal opportunities. You can motivate them by providing any special gifts or any promotions. So, the best time to honor women is Women's Day only. Now, you can honor them on any day. So, capable women are capable enough to solve the issues of unemployment. So students, in summing up, to wrap up, so I just want to tell you that women are very important aspect of the society where we are living and where we are actually working. So women empowerment is needed and it is the need of time that one must think about women empowerment. So students, being B.Ed students, I just want to tell you that you must understand the concept why women empowerment is so much needed, because until unless you yourself are not thinking about it, you will not going to inculcate these ideas among your own future generations, future students. As a teacher, I'm telling you that women empowerment is needed. As a teacher, I have told you why it is important. We have discussed factors which are affecting women empowerment, why it is considered need of the hour that we must think about it. So, students, think about women empowerment, what it is, its concept, and revise the concept that I have just taught you, and discuss anything with me, either telephonically or questioning form. You can ask me anything when you find any difficulties. We have discussed about um, the concept of women empowerment, what it is. We have seen the factors which are really making the concept of women empowerment more important. And then we have seen the importance of women empowerment. If we empowering the women, how can it affect the society? So these are few things that you must take care, study well, and then if you have any queries, then you can ask me. Thank you so much.